So, Volume 5 OST.
Oh, I mean, I thought he was captain of this ship, but okay. I guess.
I mean, yeah, we are Volume 5.
I'm just ready to go.
The crew finished watching Volume 5 last week. They're filming Volume 6 right now. So we're going to go through the Volume 5 OST like we normally do.
It is time.
It is time.
It is time.
Time to do it once again. And we're glad to be back.
So the first track up is going to be The Triumph, which I believe is the opening track for Volume 5 for all the episodes.
And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, Patreon, blah, blah, blah.
Is that koozie you're drinking beer out of from?
Oh yeah, it's a Guinness
gym?
Extra Stout and a Planet Fitness koozie. And I've got a coffee porter.
Because synchronicity.
One from, well, one
Yeah.
for the contradictions today.
And I've got a coffee porter and a Waffle House slap koozie. So.
Well, I mean, people like take showers and drink beer, so why not work out and drink too? I mean, so you don't feel the pain as you're going.
Because I thought science said not to do that.
Science.
Science.
You're not my Neil deGrasse Tyson.
You're right.
Ooh.
You're right. I'm not.
Zing.
This definitely says
Or more
no.
specifically,
All right.
And here we go. Oh,
No.
go.
Ready?
false start. Nice. Is that Casey? Her voice got better again. That is the worst way to describe it, but it's more mature.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like her in the beginning.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's her belt is more stable and it's more shaped.
Hefty. Yeah.
It is aging.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's a weird. Half tempo? Yeah.
I just love the harmonies underneath. Are just like, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's still all Jeff.
Yeah.
Jerk.
All Jeff?
Yeah. That's what he was saying.
Nice. Bit of musical theater.
Yeah, there it is.
Good bass tag.
Yeah.
I love this guitar, the super strum. Bit of Dragon Force.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I like that choice a lot.
Little chords there.
Yeah. Oh, it's so tasty. Oh, those Jeff harmonies are so good.
Right.
It's a dumpling of sound. Nice. Looking nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is very musical theater. I like it. Good. I thought I was going to go to a slow section, but nice for picking back up. I knew it was coming again. Oh, okay.
Nope, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Nice.
The bass line in the second octave of the.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very tasty.
It's more involved. It's more soloistic. I'm gonna jam to this in my car. Whew.
Nice take on the video there. That was a nice choice on the video there. That was the ending. Yeah.
Well, I said it the last time we did a soundtrack review, but this has definitely topped it as my new favorite intro so far of the 5 that we reviewed and 6 that I've heard. It might change when we go through volume 6, but
It's going to change when we get to 7, so it's
right.
Yeah.
It's so tight. It's always tight, but there's some, I don't know. It's not necessarily less moving parts, but everything just even more so locks up. The first thing that jumps to mind is how well mixed or how mastered all of Jeff's 3 to 6 harmonies are against Casey's lead. I called it a dumpling because there's lower and upper harmonies while she's singing her melodic line. And it's just this juggernaut of like 4 to 7 voices. And it's all consonant. Like they don't try to do like 7s and 9s and 11s. So it's just, it's very much like a 2-person choir. Rolling through that chorus, and it's just so tight.
And the bass gets like a couple little shining moments in this tune too.
Good licks, good
Yes,
licks.
Like
very good.
Pseudo funk, but still rock.
It's groove.
Yeah.
You gotta. I'm a disciple of the groove. You gotta have groove.
Can't hold no groove if you ain't got no pocket.
It's true though.
Enough said.
No. Next song. No. So it's
It's just like the basis for Dollhouse.
What
I wonder
makes-
if her dress has
look,
pockets, and that's
what
why she's so
made-
good.
What made me kind of give you this look of like a dog that's been shown a card trick?
Yeah, his head went. He completely went sideways.
When the opera guy says, "I'm a disciple of the groove."
that's me.
Yeah, you're like, wait.
Wait.
So you actually can sing in rhythm?
Don't you guys live on beats 1 and 3 and not 2 and 4? I mean, that's
Unless the notes are tied together, in which case
that's
the whole
already-
note, and which if it's a whole note tied to a quarter note, that beat 2 is just kind of getting me somewhere.
that's already a strike against you.
I can count.
Okay.
I was an instrumentalist first. Let the record show that I was an instrumentalist first.
You were an instrumentalist
Before I
you
became a traitor.
Before you went to
became-
the dark side.
before you became a throat.
A throat. I am the
That is your instrument.
I am the
That
throat.
is your
Let
instrument.
it happen.
I represent the throat. No. So
Phrasing?
Jeff's. I mean, it's always phrasing. Jeff's bridges. It's just because I've kept commenting on bridges of pieces, so now it's a trend. Now it's a pattern.
Jeff Bridges.
I almost hope that doesn't pick up on the mic. The bridge of this song is
Jeff Bridges.
another right. It's another song where he starts putting a lot of his weird chordal movement in the bridge, because the chorus is pretty straightforward, the verses are pretty clean, all of the interludes or solos are pretty much, one for one what you'd expect. But it's worth noting again that there are 2 things. Chord wise, Casey does a really big jump from like E flat. She sings up around like an E flat, D, and C, and then jumps down to the G to finish off whatever lyric she's singing in the bridge. But jumping from E flat, the E flat of an E flat chord, to the G of an E minor chord, they're moving up a half step harmonically, and she's jumping down a 6th, which is one of those. And there's probably a music theory term for that, but it's just one of those, and it's really good because it's chromatic up and a big jump down.
See,
it's nice.
You're a student of the Dr. Sugar form of music theory with this.
And the other thing was, I like how lyrically the bridge is is full of lyrics, but then like 3/4 of the way she just stops and just does like that high harmonic stuff, usually over like one word. I think glorified was one of the words, like glorified, which it's just a simple break from like, because Jeff and Casey always fill up their songs with plenty of lyrics. Like, it's always full. There's always words to be said, but it's fun when they, at the end, they just shift backwards for a second and just toss one word over. It's nice. It's just another example of the little things and nice difference.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, yeah, compact, tight. She sang a high G. I know, just to once again remind everybody how good of singers these two are. Yeah, Casey on a high G and Jeff being Jeff. It's Jeff.
The apple didn't fall from the tree.
No, not far.
Not at all.
Not far at all. Oh, and yeah, her belt, her chest voice or mixed voice, whatever she's doing at the beginning, it's more strident. It's a deeper is not the right word, but it's just a little bit more aged. And that's just another testament to good on you. She's developing her voice really well, and I'm excited to see, because that's an example of her voice blossoming.
I originally thought it was the mom singing again. That's like a guest spot, but no, that's Casey.
No, that's her. She's
yeah.
So I'm excited to see, you know, as she goes through her 20s and 30s, what her voice is going to morph into. Because I have predictions, and I think they're going to be really good. They're all good. So yeah. Sorry, I just kind of hogged.
I'm just
waiting.
Yeah.
Most people like seeing your take on the songs anyway. So
I also tend to ramble. Sorry, but yeah, much to love. That was just. I'm going to be jamming that out to that in the car.
So
very, very soon.
Next up, we have another sort of. It's called Ignite. It's another.
I see Lamar. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a real cool sort of rock tune. It's got, and Lamar definitely
breaks it down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and breakdowns. Yes, they did a half, and in that last song they did a half tempo thing before the chorus. And you know, I am a whore for half tempos. Like, I am easily pleased by anything that does that. Now,
all right.
Cool. Yep. Did I get my checklist of all the things I But it's all true. Yeah. Ignite.
All right, let's go.
Oh yes. So many people love this song, guys. Or this is so many people's favorite song.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, con horns. Ooh.
Yeah.
It was a really quick chorus. Good. I like these lyrics. Nice. Nice. A bit of barbershop sprinkled on the rock. Oh, you hear that bass? Oh, man. There it is. Yeah. Ooh,
drums.
Drums. It? Haha. That is such a weird chord change to me. Nice. I need to see some studio footage of Jeff tearing it up on this guitar. Let me see what faces he makes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Ooh. Ew. Jesus. Nice.
For me, the rhythmic play between Lamar and the brass section at the end of that section of his, where they're in rhythmic unison,
That's ridiculous.
just going and going with the syncopations. I freaking love that part.
It's such ridiculous talent. To keep up with that line. Who were the horns? Do you know who the horns were on that track?
I need to find out for. I don't know if they use the same ones that they used for Volume 2. Usually they go to like the arranger. He usually goes to like. I mean, I'm not saying him specifically, but most arrangers will go first call the same people. You know that they kind of have choice on, and depending on who's busy, they'll go to somebody else. So I don't know if it's the same people or not, but that's one of the things I want to find out. So
because those horns
Jeff mentioned a group or in the Volume 2 when he was commenting. It was Zach something, I think.
no, well that's the arranger.
Oh, okay.
The arranger's a sax player. The horn writer arranger.
Yeah.
But it's one of the trumpet players from. It's one of the ladies that plays with used to or still does plays with Diva.
Oh, okay.
Big band. She was one of the horn line, and I forget there was one other. I forget the bone player. But yeah, that's so he's probably covering all sax parts, and then you've got one trumpet player that will overlay themselves once or twice, and then same thing with bone.
Yeah,
overlay
makes sense.
Once or twice or whatever.
Well, case in point, every single horn player, from the bones up to the trumpets, were ridiculously talented. The technical precision you need to do to run those lines at any octave is ridiculous. As an ex-saxophone player myself, there was that one tasty, like, I think it was a tenor sax solo partway through that was just nasty, like going over the line. Oh, so good.
Wait, you mean when it starts with when Lamar's? That when it starts that?
I thought it was on an interlude, but I'd have to listen back. It's either during Lamar's bit or
just before.
Before, I think.
Because there's a Barry sax that's playing.
There is a Barry sax that too.
That starts right there. Which is the Barry sax is like the predominant voice there, but then when it gets in the upper register of Barry sax, which just
then it
sounds
might
like
have just been a high Barry sax.
Yeah, large tenor, but then there's probably like two other saxes that were layered in there or something like that.
They were so good. And it's not all about the horns, but it's worth saying that first because man, that's what will set a song apart. It's like, because this is, again, well structured, everything's tight, everything's clean, but then you've got that punch, that little flavor of just, you know, perfectly blended trumpets, saxophones, trombones. Fantastic.
So this was, when you laughed a second ago, this was the song that was used during the Yang character short. And so there's that point in time where I guess at the very end of the short where she gets launched over and hits the tree or whatever, and like Ruby runs over to her and yells Yang on her way over. That cut is from that part right there. And what's funny is
I heard a little Yang.
I heard the music, like with all the Ruby stuff, I heard the music long before I watched all of the show.
I still haven't seen that short.
So the so when I first heard that, I couldn't tell if that was a guitar like riff like to like end off the previous phrase, and it turns out it's Lindsay doing Yang's voice, which sounds like a guitar riff because it's in that register.
So you're saying Lindsay sounds like a pinch harmonic? Like, is that what you're getting at?
Ruby sounds like a pinched harmonic.
I mean, there are some times where that's true.
It is true. And then there's all the voice work too. That because I mean, the singing's or the melody's great. The harmonies, but the harmonies in this one are very barbershop reminiscent.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of each verse, there's a walk down. The dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
It's just, and I've said it before, but as a summation, when you can do chromatic work, where you just do half-step work, moving up and down inside of a key, like the horns, there's just a little bit like flavor on top, gilding of the lily. That's the sprinkles that you didn't know you needed in your ice cream. It's absolutely fantastic. It's another high energy piece, so you're going to get a lot of similar comments from us for these first two. Yeah,
I would love to see. There's got to be footage out there of them in the recording studio doing all this stuff.
Oh,
like, there's
man,
I would love to see. Any of these songs.
But I want to see Ignite just because there's so much solo work. I want to see the horns move. I want to hear that sax move. I want to see Jeff. I want to see Jeff shred that guitar.
So here's the problem when you're putting stuff together, and I'm not saying this putting together on a budget, meaning cheap quality, but sometimes instead of getting everyone in the town, like the exception would be LA, because you can. I mean, there's 100 people you can call that can come sight read it right now. Yeah, maybe right. I mean, not 100 people on each instrument, but
yeah.
So some of the stuff is farmed out because of. You all know as well as I do, music is a very, 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 very small world.
Yes.
Yeah.
The more you do, the more you know.
So if the arranger has, hypothetically, let's say Jeff's in Boston, because he's at Berkeley, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's where Casey's at. But then let's say the arranger is a friend that lives in Austin. But then, the arranger gets the tracks, or the horn arranger, I'm sorry, not for everything, but for the horns, gets parts of the tracks, and then calls friends in LA and Seattle. Yeah. So there's not going to, the problem is like, because a lot of people, there's a lady I know who's a trombone player in London, or I don't know if it's London proper, but England, where she does voiceover work. She's a very well-known, famous trombone player. She's done a lot of tours and stuff like that. And she has her own studio area in her house with all the recording equipment, because she will get, like, hey, I need you to play this chart, or can you cover the first and second trombone for this chart? Yeah, sure. Send me the music. She will record raw audio right there with the same stuff that they've got in the studio, and just email it to New York, basically, and then they'll pull that over and they'll line everything up.
And it's not reasonable to ask your musicians you farm, you're like, hey, film yourself doing this while you record.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm sure I'm sure there's film footage that exists of parts of stuff.
Yeah.
But
nothing.
Yeah, but when you're spread out over a wide area of like people who like, okay, I want Eddie. There's a friend of mine, Eddie, who lives in Memphis, who's a trombone player, and I said, Eddie, I need you to record this stuff and send it to me. He's going to record it and send and email it to me. He's not going to. Yeah. He's not going to drive. I mean, he would drive to Atlanta, come out and party for a couple of days. but he would
be real.
Efficiency.
Yeah, but if he's busy and he's got like 3 other things he's got to do, then he can just do that in his spare time. I need it in 2 weeks. Right. He can just get it in spare time. Send like 4 different versions of it. I can pick the best one that I want to use, chop it up, and use it or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're good.
Just that's the other. That's the other side. A lot of people don't quite.
I knew that.
Yeah.
It's so hard. No, but for the people at home, coordinating. The more people you have to coordinate when you do a musical project, the less of a chance you'll get it all in one piece.
Yeah, I'm holding it in.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't said anything yet.
Nope. The channel speaks for itself.
It's all true. Yeah.
There's a reason why we only record Ruby, or anything for that matter, as a large group on Sundays between the hours of such and such and such and such, because that is the only open window in 6 different people's schedules to get together and do that so it's any kind of quality, because everyone's got a rehearsal or a gig, or they got work, or they got school, or
It looks
they got,
like a rainbow.
Yeah.
Like trying to put, if you overlay all 6 of our
and
schedules.
I have overlaid everyone's calendar before.
Oh.
And it's like there's one white little space right
It's
here. I'm like, that's when we'll.
We found it. It's right there.
So, all right. So the next tune is "Path to Isolation," which is a Weiss.
Looks like a Weiss track.
Mm-hmm.
Look excited. It's another ballad, or possibly.
Yes.
We will see.
Question mark. And shout out to FlyntofRWBY.
Oh, yes.
We're looking at all his
Oh, yes. Thank you.
videos for these.
We're always grateful.
Thank you, sir.
So
Let's get on.
okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
And ready? Yeah.
It starts with the unexpected loss of something dear. The warmth that comforted and cradled just disappears. And in its place there's nothing, just an endless empty hole. The light that showed the way is gone, and darkness takes control.
Nice.
Bitterness and anger are quick to fill the void. The path to isolation is littered with the dreams that lay destroyed.
That's a good one.
Good. That low vibrato.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. It's like a Eurobeat track. I get vibes.
Growing jaded, being pushed, being pulled, I'm unraveling. Can't find myself when I'm constantly forced to conform. Enemies surround me, but the worst appear as friends. Liars and pretenders only seek to reach their ends. Everything is breaking right before my eyes. Looking in the mirror, I see someone that I don't recognize.
This piano line is really, really good. Nice.
The Iron Maiden gallop.
Yeah, no, I heard that. Tick-a-dum, 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 dum, tick-a-dum.
Iron Maiden, what?
Yeah.
Ooh, hi-hat.
Disco strings.
Always
Always disco strings.
gotta have it. Gotta have it at least once. Ooh.
Right?
Ooh. Okay. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, blast beats for no reason. Just like
Right, yeah.
My ankles hurt.
Right?
Really a blast beat.
Yeah, it's 16ths.
It's 6 doublets. I think I gotta take it up.
Weiss and mirrors, man. Nice. Really, cold finish.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't resolve it either.
You know, one of the
Stays
things
on the 5.
one of the things I really like from a musical perspective about Weiss's character she seems like she's the most musically developed as far as like things that have been assigned to
Mhm.
her. And that doesn't mean that there's 5 things assigned to her. There's like, say, 2 or 3. But the way that they're used,
And evolving and developing.
well, the way that they're just used, like, it's something that happens all the way back in the very first OST, but it's that same Ide fix melody / or just concept. It's not always exact.
Yeah.
That keeps reappearing as her marker. But she's got like 3 or 4 markers. It's not just this, okay, here's 5 notes that you always be like, oh, that's Weiss.
Yeah.
It's like, there's these 5 notes, and then there's that 3 measures, and there's that chord change. It's like there's more assigned to her in some kind of...
Than the other 4.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's weird, because like, I'm not sure if that's because... And this might be totally subconscious on the part of, you know, Jeff and Rooster Teeth and stuff like that, as far as like, hey, you know, these are concepts. I have no idea what's in their head.
Yeah.
You know, I can't read their minds, but it almost seems like because she's a musician in that universe of some kind,
Oh yeah.
that there's extra care taken for how she's presented
Musically,
when it comes
yeah.
to... I could be totally talking out of my ass, but it just seems
It's
like
a good theory.
that would be at least viable as something maybe.
Well,
But-
because she's the only one that actually, performs music. She's actually been, she actually sings and performed in one of the episodes, so it would make sense that
and like I said, that's why I said it might even be like
a subconscious
a subconscious
where-
thing, because, you know, well, we've had to compose these things for her character because it's diegetic or non-diegetic. Remember these terms. So, because
there may or may not be a test.
Yeah, because it's in the show
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to accompanying the show, that there's extra care has to be taken to make sure that that's doable and believable.
Yeah.
But then it can be used outside of the show looking down at it.
All of Weiss's songs, many of Weiss's solo songs, like to paint a lot of her introspective moments where she has inner turmoil and it then, blossoms or flowers or changes. And to help support Bruce's theory, because I agree, like a lot of Weiss's songs in these last few soundtracks have had like solo piano, then with strings, then with a full orchestra, then with a rock band, then with a rock band with heavy beats. Like the progression of it, it's not the first time we've seen it, and it seems to happen the most with Weiss, for sure. And it again mimics lyrically. I imagine many of y'all have seen it, dissected it, read the story through the lyrics.
Yeah.
And musically, it too has
It follows that.
Yep.
a progression, but again, like the range of it, because we started with solo piano and we ended with heavy 16ths through a rock band. It's much more jarring. So yeah, the range of it is quite vast. I really liked how leading up to the rock, the piano section and the orchestral section, despite having a lot of fast-moving strings and low strings, mind you, like it was really active down in the basement.
That wasn't all cello either. There was a lot of double bass in there too.
Yeah.
The piano still stayed the foremost instrument in the texture. So if you go back and listen to it, you can hear all the strings, you can hear the timpani, but the piano comes in just a bit louder. And I like that because, Weiss's character is really dominated by the voice and what sounds like a lot of just piano work. So I like that they kept Weiss's themes and like little musical tells on top of all this new texture. But it's, again, blended so well and mixed and mastered so effortlessly that you can have all these moving parts, disco strings, just all these details, and it never feels crowded. Which is also a nice progression, because that was some of my critiques in the first or second soundtrack. Is while it's all really good, some of it felt crowded. And not to say that it was, but now I don't even think about it, because the progression of how it's all put together in the studio afterwards in post. It was good to start, and it's fucking perfect now. That's what I meant to say. I don't come from a place of judgment. It's all great.
Yeah, because when you were saying that, what ran through my head was there's definitely a hierarchy of what's important. Where some
Yes.
people, when they'll mix a track or when they'll master it or however they want to put it together, they'll try and put as much stuff on an equal footing all the way through.
Yeah, balance it.
And yeah, and so that's when things sound crowded. But if you have the vocal being prominent, because there's a lot of groups, and this is stuff that's like on the radio even. There's a lot of stuff out there where all the background stuff is almost at the volume of the vocalist, or whoever's rapping, whoever's singing, whoever's doing whatever, and it starts to get lost in it. And as opposed to, okay, well, if the vocals are at 0, let's put everything else at -2, but then everything else that's just even supporting that. So like in this example would be the vocals are at 0, the piano's at -2, and everything else is at -5.
Yeah.
So that it's there and you can hear it, but it's not intruding on your ear to like just make white noise kind of happen.
It's
in
like a
general.
sandwich. You gotta layer things appropriately, and not everything has the same ratio. You gotta to put it back to food. But yeah, it fits. I always mix my music and my
Peanut
food
butter.
terminology.
Peanut butter.
Or looking at memes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Right. Sorry. That was lovely. That was quite good. Good on Casey, as always.
So, anything else?
No, I'm good on that one.
Anything? Okay. So the next one is Smile, which is...
Why do I get the vibe this is going to be a Bumblebee thing? Where I'm
I was
just
gonna say,
no.
or the home, or the
like that one that just is
Kinda
going to
make me
stick
cry.
to you. And just
Oh, in that context?
and then well, let's find out.
you and I are the new ones on this journey.
Yeah.
We're the ones going through it at this point.
Well, so it's not that... I listen to the OST stuff quite a bit. You know, we've talked before about how it's a really good palate cleanser, because like when you're in a rehearsal and it's the same style of stuff. And granted, like everyone up here listens to a very wide variety of stuff. So yeah. So when we're, and I don't want to say this in a negative way, but I'll use these words anyway. When we're stuck in rehearsals,
yes.
Oh, I know what you mean though. I know.
Say no more.
Musicians will understand what you mean.
and it's the same genre for 2.5 hours of time, and you might. The other couple weeks ago, actually Gustav and I were in the same concert together, but he was on the second half and I was on first half and I was on the second half, because he was singing in the choir with the orchestra for one thing, but there were no trombone parts, and then I played trombone for the symphony at the end that we played. But I like Dvorak, I like New World Symphony,
But I'm hearing sensing a bug coming on.
But when you're in the rehearsal the whole time, the last thing I want to listen to when I'm done with it is more of that.
Dvorak, yeah.
So, on the way home, Slipknot or Unleash the Archers or Coulter Wall
or not a symphony.
Divergence.
Yeah. All right. So
I hate
Smile.
you guys so much sometimes.
We really are friends, I swear. All right.
I only show my teeth because I'm showing aggression.
All right. Here we go. Ready?
Smile.
All right.
God,
No.
you freaking...
This is already so different.
Child, our daughter, sit while we talk a while. You've done no misdeed, still they'll put your life on trial. Born
And this is Jeff.
far from any
He's got a lot of voices in his arsenal.
you're as perfect as the wind and sky, but they'll
Oh, okay.
like you're out of place.
This world is cold. The power is with those who would judge and control. But but we have a chance to make it right. This is what you'll do. Show them how you smile.
Ooh, those chords.
Only for a while. Take what you need, leave them to bleed. Let them know bitter while your revenge is sweet.
Huh.
That escalated.
He lives in you.
Oh, wait.
He lives in me.
The secret, pretending you're just like them. Live there like a princess.
It's all on the 6.
Oh, it keeps the tension going.
Well, it does, yeah. Well, they haven't hit a tonic in a while now. Come on, Casey. Yes. Oh my God, yes. God, oh. Obligatory damn it, Jeff. Wow. Wow. Man.
Have you figured out what the song's about?
Yes.
Okay.
With what's on the screen?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
From the beginning. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Get a shift up.
Jeff really loves chromaticisms.
Yeah.
I want to write a song where it's just like, look, it's Jeff Williams' music in one. And with all of these abrupt cutoffs this season, we got a lot of them just like, we're out.
Yep. Tabletop endings. Hooray.
I did actually remember one thing from Weiss's track that I did want to say that's just very insignificant, but I really like how in the beginning of Weiss's track before, there's this echo filter where it makes it sound like she's in a stadium. Like there's a lot of reverb on her voice, and it makes her sound alone. And that's all I wanted to say. Y'all know which instrument took center stage in this piece, right?
Me.
The drums.
Mhm.
The drums. There was so much diversity. I wish Jason was here because there was so many different techniques going on in this piece. And I can't. I am very tempted to believe that all of it you couldn't find on a typical set. So I feel like there was
there was a lot of native instruments.
a lot of variety,
Oh, like, okay, so in the beginning.
especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was, that kind of crossed my mind was, in the beginning of this, I mean, so if you want something to be kind of subdued, or you want it to be solemn, or anything like that, you can't have anything jarring.
Right.
And so, like, in jazz bands, that's when you get the brushes out on the snare
Mhm.
and do the figure eights on the snare. So there's still kind of a beat being kept on the snare, but
It's
you're not
not quite-
striking it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of what on here it'd be really easy to do. Well, yeah, I mean it'd be easy to like say, okay, we're gonna, here's the snare part, and it's like, but it sounds jarring, and we
Yeah.
don't want that. But brushes are kind of too cliche in my mind. I mean, maybe not for anybody else, but in my mind, brushes would be like too cliche for that, and it doesn't fit the right style because you're not going to hear brushes in like a choral piece, which this kind of starts out more as a rock tune.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to choose that either. So if you have some native instruments / floor tom / you know, kind of lower drums that's not bass drum
thing,
then
it's muted, but it's still present.
Right. So there's something rhythmically moving you along, but it's even live. It's not going to be something that produces enough volume to interrupt anything.
Yeah.
So
that song had hella diversity too. Like it was the most divergent track thus far from Jeff Williams' typical style across his ballads, his four on the floors, his upbeats. I really liked it, and it fits because that song is about Ilya, right? Who is, I would make an argument to say she's one of the most divergent characters in the show. Like she's alone. She is, you know, she was segmented with the Fang.
I thought you were going to say that she is the angriest cinnamon roll that ever existed.
Right. I mean, she is, to be fair.
To be fair.
And I'm glad that she got her own track, about her.
Because in the end, she did play a pivotal part, even if it wasn't for a long time in the grand story. She was there for, what, half of one volume? About? Maybe a bit more? Comments can
give or take, yeah.
Well,
but she was in and out, but she still had such an impact. Because she was so integral with Blake's development of character.
Right. Yeah, she was there. She was there to develop. She was there to develop a story on Blake's side, but also, you know, elsewhere. So it's
she ended up getting her own time though. Like she wasn't just a piece. She got her character was fully fleshed out with a full redemption arc and everything. So, from a story perspective, that's great. From a musical perspective, so much.
It's tough to handle from a musical perspective.
It is tough to handle
because you're like, do we do something specific for this person, or do we, you know, is this a background character enough that like musically they should also be in the background,
right?
Or is this important enough that we have to draw attention to it? And one of the there's 2 score tracks that we're going to listen to.
Oh boy.
One of them is Ilya's letter. Someone requested. I can't remember who.
I can't either.
And I remember seeing that they had asked about it, and it's strings and choir.
Ooh.
Is kind of the
soundscape for it.
The soundscape for it. But anyway, so that's one of them, and the other one is one that I want to listen to because it highlights the instruments I play. For once.
I want to be included.
Because everyone's like bass and vocals and guitar
and of course the one who's editing the videos is just like, oh, this is definitely going to stay in.
So. Yeah, it's like so
trombone.
Well, it's like you get to the orchestra stuff even, and it's like all good orchestra. But this is really, really brass heavy and really low string heavy, with, you know, a little bit of contrabassoon, it sounds like, and some stuff. So
I'm excited.
It's worth it.
I wish I could comment more on the variety of the drumming, and if that's all done by Jeff, because we all know that Jeff is good on many instruments, and I'm pretty sure he does most, if not all, of the recording does not Casey. This much we know, and the drum work sometimes will extend a bit beyond the typical
multi-instrumentalist.
Right.
Yeah.
That is more than what I would expect out of a multi-instrumentalist, because there was everything. Like the syncopation, once the tempo picked up, the syncopation, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at describing drums, but the syncopation across the various drums, the work of the feet on the bass pedals, with it sometimes being in pure 16ths, and then sometimes switching up to the point where you just take out a 16th note here or there. To me, that looks really fucking hard. So, and then, you know, rapidly shifting from the tempo to half tempo to double time. Jason's the one who should be doing all of this, but the drums are so damn good in this piece. Like, and sometimes when such an instrument presents such a presence in songs like this, after we're done filming, I'll go back and listen to the song just for that instrument and really just see it go to work.
You know the easy way to do this? Hey, Jeff, Casey, who played drums on this? Oh my god!
Hey, Siri.
Jim and Casey are like,
You're not
together.
Jeff.
That was really creepy. I was just like,
Oh my god. So,
But yeah,
Siri and Casey ship.
Yeah.
well, the problem is I said hey.
oh yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
Always listening.
It's true.
But
So
direct,
Jeff,
yeah,
Casey,
directly
wanna
or
answer?
not, if you wanna. But either way, absolutely fucking phenomenal song. I had so much fun with that.
Cool.
With that very musical theatery opening too. And
Mm.
yes, I did throw in Lion King lines there, but that's just because it was.
I mean, I went
I
with
heard
Colin
that.
this summer.
I,
That's
yeah, I
all I'm
know.
saying.
I heard that it triggered him, so I was like, oh goody.
I just felt scared to throw the line in because that's like, with my luck, I will sing right as somebody else starts singing and just be like, well, the joke's.
Oh, I missed that
the-
part.
the joke is dead.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, meanwhile, everyone's like, "Shut up, Matt. We're trying to hear."
exactly. I'm just be like, ugh.
All right, so
Oh, I love this title.
This next song is my favorite song on the album.
I wonder whose it is.
Who could it be?
so this is the fight scene between Cinder and Raven. This
Oh,
is-
hell
yeah.
This is when that tune came up. So the first part, I think, if I remember right, the first part of that whole scene is orchestral, and then at some point in time where it like picks up like another.
They start jumping on the rocks.
Yeah,
Because
another-
that's the
yeah, yeah.
cave's falling in and they're starting to Naruto
Yeah.
leap up the rocks.
Yeah.
That's when it starts getting. I
That's- yeah.
remember that drop point where I was just like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
we're in it now.
But this has, so that's the tune proper, but then there's an intro to it.
Oh, nice.
And I won't say anything else because
Yeah.
I want to.
It's really good. I love it.
Oh, boy.
I just want to see something.
All right.
See something.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Oh, also Jeff's vocals, crazy, fucking wild. Anywho, from the last track.
Can we just put an asterisk on that and just put that in the.
Oh,
Whenever we're not talking, this is just what's going through Matthew's head.
God damn it, Jeff. Right.
Yeah. Damn it, Jeff.
Damn it, Jeff. Every time.
All right, ready? All right, so here we go.
Yes. Oh,
Mm.
is that Salem's theme? That's not. I don't know. That might be Salem's theme. All of these key changes.
Only the lighting on the screen with this video visual.
You won't find it there, because Vernal is not the spring maiden.
Whoosh.
I am.
Day by day it's nearer.
I love this.
Perfect for
song.
Halloween.
By
God.
step you grow
hmm
closer to your ruin.
I love it.
Soon your time to go.
Nice vibrato. Oh, it's so good.
Life is just a journey.
I love that.
Yours is spirit sent. Bloody evolution. This world transcends. Black out the sky.
That's the fake out because you think it's going to ramp right after that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All things must die.
Oh, good low note. Tasty.
This is the end. Here's where you'll die.
Oh, it's so good.
So scared, so just say goodbye.
Oh,
You're finally gone, and your conclusion, sing your swan song.
Eee. Yeah, the guitar line just rolling up and down. It really is the head turn. That's like,
Yep.
go job, go job. Ooh, it's strings doubling on top. That bass is moving too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Nice. Low synths. Creepy screams. Nice. There it is. It's gotta be one. I want more. It's so good. I just want more. Yee.
Mm.
What a creepy song.
I love it though.
Of course, of course. Very making Christmas, but like much, much angrier.
Yeah.
All right, so easily enough, the whole chordal interchange in that is they're going from D minor to E major. So they're moving one step up, and they're switching tonalities from minor to major. And then the second time they go from C sharp minor to A flat major. So the whole reason this sounds so creepy, or the two biggest reasons why this sounds so creepy, is moving halfway between a verse from minor to major and then from minor to major, back to minor to major, doing that back and forth, combined with that gross guitar line where it's just rolling up and down, just rolling up the chromatic keys and down the chromatic keys, and that is really tasty. There is, sorry for a third point, there is something much scarier when you're being threatened in a calm tone more so than being yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
So the beginning of this song, where you just have this nice little lilty lullaby-esque assurance that you're going to be destroyed,
Yeah, it's a threat.
is so much scarier when they're calm and they sound confident about it.
Yeah, bassists just try and put it all to 10 anyway, just leave it.
Right.
Calm.
11 if we're lucky.
Hence the
I mean, there are other numbers on it, right?
hence
You know,
my
just crank it
comment
up.
the other night on the Discord. By the way, we have a lot of fun in Discord.
Oh my god.
So the
So many channels.
So the comment I had the other day in Discord was like, for my soul, for a rhythm section that has a metronome. Half the people in Discord were like, what? And the other half were like,
Exactly.
Hey.
You played yourself.
yeah. So,
Ugh.
anyway.
It doesn't seem like we have as much to say about that song, but it was absolutely fantastic, and a lot of the things that stood out about the song made it creepy, made it unsettling, made it threatening, and so just a really good combination of just a lot of simple different things that we already mentioned. Chromaticisms, weird filters.
Mm.
Oh, partially with the fact that like Casey's voice is still pretty darn clean during this song, or her. I'm saying like her vocal tone is not, like she's not belting a lot of the time. It's just a simple head voice
There was less
line.
grit in her voice.
Well,
Not as much,
Mhm.
and it was left to the instruments
I would be,
more so.
and I'm not saying to Jeff or Casey to do this.
Choose your words.
Well, but
wisely.
it's one of those things. I'd be really curious what Casey could do with, at certain points, if there was vocal fry
right.
that was in there. Not because I think it's needed, but it's just out of my own curiosity.
Yeah, what it would sound like.
Yeah, just be, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be over the top. It's not Fry screaming or anything like that, but just that little bit. And there's one, I don't even remember what track it is. It's something that I listened to in the past 2 days or 3 days that just kind of came through shuffle, you know, where she had one particular note that she did that had a little bit of that on the emphasis, putting the emphasis on the right syllable.
Yeah.
Right. And so it was like, I kind of want to hear more of that, you know, not a lot, but like
Yeah,
Because it's not healthy, but
when it
man,
really,
it's-
really counts, that would be really cool to see what would happen. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
But
It's not that we don't love you,
I'm just busy.
just that we're just disappointed.
It's not that we don't love you.
We're
We're just disappointed in you.
You don't pay my bills.
Oh, damn.
This next song that we're about to listen to is called This Time, parentheses, From Shadows Part 2.
Yes, you are correct, sir.
That is what the screen says.
Reading is fundamental.
Yeah,
Right.
Reading is... Oh.
Having,
it's almost like the answers are coming from a glowing oracle of wisdom somewhere.
10 feet in front of us.
Yeah, right.
This time.
Oh,
There
you
it is.
Son of a bitch. I fucking live with you too.
Not me. Yeah.
Just
Onwards!
play the fucking video.
All right, here we go.
Superhero stance.
This actually is my favorite one on this
Oh,
score.
okay.
Therefore,
That's right.
They like doing that this album. There's a lot of little descant shit.
well, that's the bass is grimy as hell, which I
Right.
kind of like too.
You like that? That was nice. There's that D minor 7 that we keep hearing. Nice. Woohoo.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh yeah, like I expect an end of verse breakdown, but like a whole little bit interlude bit. I like that. Voices of discomfort.
Is that
Voices of discomfort at Jeff's high notes. Just. FMA. Ah, there it is. That's a good message. Must be nice to be able to match a mezzo in their octave. Strings on top?
I don't know.
Right. But not for the whole time, just for a little bit. Ah. I wanted them to do that breakdown one more time just to really drive it home.
Oh.
That was good. So here's an interesting question. Why is this your favorite song out of the album?
You mean as far as like just in general, or just like a musical
Well,
reasoning?
the reason I ask is because this is a fantastic piece, and there's a lot of things that are done very similarly to this in other songs.
Mhm.
It doesn't. There's not much about this song that makes it stand out in the album, to me, which is fine. It's not there's no criticism alongside of that, but it's not something that if I were to hear this all in a line, that would fade to the background against a lot of the other music
see.
in this album. So how does this set itself apart?
I guess, lyrically or intention wise, there's kind of the call to action kind of scenario with the underdog kind of feel to it. I guess.
That's a great motivation. Yeah, that'll do. I was just
so,
curious.
Yeah, I think it's probably more along the lines of that. It's not. I mean, not that I shy away from angry music, but but it's not angry in the sense of like, this sucks. What are we going to do, or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's very positive.
here's the position we're in, get your ass in gear.
Yeah, that's
You
a great message
Which
too.
is, I mean,
Put up or shut up is kind of like
well, yeah, in a way, and it's funny because, a lot of people, they you don't want that to be like a jarring message to somebody, because that could shut somebody down.
Yeah.
Because if you approach somebody like, hey, either put up or shut up, get your shit together, they could shut down even more. But, so I guess probably the storyline that this
In
obviously
context, yeah.
goes along with too
Yeah.
is like, if you're trying to get people to like do something, or to stand up for themselves, or to like take back what's been taken, or whatever that scenario is, doing it in a way that's motivational because of but not slighting anybody at the same time is probably better.
It does harken back to Blake's really damn good speech.
Mm.
After they walk, that's probably, now that I think about it, because now I'm remembering that speech and how much I loved it.
The post-fight speech that she
Oh,
gives,
man.
it really is good.
Humans did not do this. Faunus did this. Oh.
Actually, she should have said, I did this. I set my house on fire.
'Twas I.
Maybe that little girl just kind of like
with a in the background. But no, music. So musically, there's a lot of standard. It's funny to say the word standard, because in context, I can't tell you how few bands and musicians touch these different techniques enough to call them standard, like chromatic exchange, going through like 7 different keys between the verse and the chorus, having enough harmonies, to fill out a 16-piece choir.
Yeah.
Every single band instrument just having its own melodic line and still fitting into a texture that all supports a vocal line. All of this is incredibly rare to find in bands, and yet I get to say it's standard for Jeff. So know
yeah.
that by saying that, like, a lot of things that Jeff typically does are done in this song, which doesn't make it so far apart from his typical work. But that being said, all the shit he does is fantastic. So again,
it's standard within his rep, but it is
Yes.
definitely
and his
above
rep
standard.
all sits
Yeah.
his rep sits above most other people. So again, good job on Casey for these lines, Jeff for the high vocals, the guitar for weaving its way through the bass and through the pounding 4-on-the-floor drums, the ability to bounce like 3 different keys, or at least 3 different chordal movements, moving between the verse to the bridge to the chorus. So like
I just remembered something.
And
all of it's fantastic and
there's-
clean and
There's a response that Jeff does vocally in that tune. You're gonna have to go back and just listen to it.
yeah.
But and it wasn't that anyone was talking over it. It's just it's right in the right spot where if you're concentrating on everything else, you kind of miss.
You'll miss it, yeah.
But we were talking about the whole like. Does Lindsay sound like a pinched harmonic when she voices
yeah.
Ruby or whatever?
Jeff sounds
There-
like a guitar.
There's an answer that he says or that he sings in here, but it's in the range and has enough like fry on it just a little bit because of where it is.
Exactly.
That it could be mistaken really, really easily for a guitar, to the point where as I'm saying it right now, I'm second guessing myself.
Oh, if it actually was or not?
Because I've heard it as his voice so often that now that I think about it, it's like, that actually could go either way. So
I cannot tell you how many times I've mistaken Jeff's everything above his like high C for a guitar line. It's so
Like, that's just, oh, wait.
it's so
wait.
easily interchanged, and I can't tell. There's so many times where I'm just like, I think that's a voice.
I can't tell if that's Jeff or Jeff Van Halen.
Right. Which part of Jeff is being played? His throat or his fingers? Like, couldn't tell you. Phrasing. Thank you. Thank you. And you were fine.
Get out of my head.
Get out of my head!
I just
Really? Freaking excellent.
It's shout out to 5-string basses.
Right?
Hey.
Everybody's always like, why do you always play a 5-string? Stuff like this, well, and gospel church music. But
Yes, sir.
you need that low B, son.
You better do.
It's so tasty, though.
But yes, good job. Good job, Williams.
That's right.
He didn't say that once
words
before.
don't-
Williams is. All right. So,
All right, Squirrely Dan.
So next one is All That Matters. So we got All That Matters. We have an acoustic, which is a redo of a previous tune, and then 2
Scores.
two chunks of the score.
Yeah.
So.
Headphones on.
Oh my god.
Okay, go.
Genre departure.
Yeah!
I mean,
yeah, but
Okay.
yeah.
every album seems to have like 50 of those anyway.
Right.
So, all right, here you go.
Or the musical theater number, or the right.
The ballad kind of thing.
I actually have something very specific to say about this one after.
So I know that the people at home can see what we're seeing right now.
Mhm.
So it's fair to say that this ship must be so happy, must have been so elated to see this track come through the album.
That's probably fair to guess.
Right.
You would stay forever. Never asked you to commit your life.
Or were you talking about a wash over a drums?
But I can
Oh, yeah.
tell you in my heart, I never
That's all I hear.
Yeah.
Even
No,
though
the-
it's not there.
You gotta do the figure 8s on the snare.
Yep.
You'd up and leave me with
Because what you can't tell right now is this is a definite like 9/8, 12/8 feel.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
12/8.
that look in your eyes, the look that makes me hope I'll just believe
Ch- ch-
your
those are
light.
tertiary rhythms.
Yep.
You're lost, you're
Using our
found,
intellectual traits.
you're hard to pin down. I never know if you'll come.
And we've heard these lyrics before, haven't we? In a different song?
Then
Nope.
you
And I've just heard this song before.
Together we're here, and that's all that
At the very end of Volume 5. This is when the three of them are there and Blake runs up
Yeah.
and they're having that conversation briefly. That's this.
Thought that I could pull you from the shadows.
How does Bumblebee sound?
There's
Is there any lyric?
brushes on the snare.
Is there any lyrical interchange between Bumblebee and this song?
I don't think so.
Okay.
If there is, it's just like,
Then I've just heard this song before. I'm just getting a big sense of deja vu for some reason.
oh yeah,
so
your memory's just bad. It's fine.
it's not what it used to be.
We know this.
I love the rhythm there.
Very lounge jazz. Oh,
The thing I'm going to mention later is actually within the chorus feel. Right?
Together we're here, and that's all that matters somehow.
what a beautiful color of the voice.
I'm running out of energy.
There's those little bits where there's just that.
Puts a bit of chest into it. Yeah. A bit of soul.
The way I feel to you is
Taking a
no
note before I forget.
All right.
sad, but it's true that the one thing I can count on is that I can't
Pulling my sleeves down because I got chills.
count on you.
Stupid chord.
So now the real question comes in. Is that a Strat or a Telly?
Neither, it's a Gretsch.
It's like, I'm trying to remember which setting, which pickup are we
It's
on?
like Gibson hollow body.
Oh god.
You're lost, you're
That was
found.
such a good solo.
You're hard to pin down. I never know if you'll come through. Then you appear. Together we're here, and that's all that matters somehow.
Good strings. That's a great palate cleanser too.
Mhm.
Ignorant of, it being a standalone song in the album. That's just a great change of pace.
So my first two big chunks.
Bullet point 1.
The first one is I want to do a big band arrangement of that, but I want to take the second section around, but turn that into the solo section
Yeah.
or whatever. But it still be a vocal chart, just off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Like,
wait, that I would
I could
that's
falsetto that.
that's 90% there already.
listen to that.
But then the other half is like, so especially when it gets in to the chorus, it's the same feel, almost the same tempo, not exactly the same chord structure, although the structure is still reminiscent of the same genre, like really, really closely.
Okay.
But it is the same key as, and I know like there are some people that will totally like love this, and a bunch of people that are going to be like not mad, but they're going to like, what are you talking about? So Aretha Franklin, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman.
Oh my God! Yes.
You showed this to me in the car.
Yeah.
That's why. There's that deja vu. Okay, great, cool. I'm back.
See, it's okay.
That's your nationwide moment with this song.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
right.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Well, no, because it's not
Annoying.
yeah, it's
Yours
not
was.
annoying, but it's like the genre that this pulls from is that very kind of 60s
Motown ballad. Yeah.
you know, kind of thing. But yeah, the 12/8 feel,
9/8 feel, all of that.
yeah. So the 12/8, the only thing it's missing, which this would be totally shtick, is that before the chord changes, boom, like having that like lead in at the end to the next change or something like that. So anyway,
good job, Casey. So I could technically talk about how all of the little subtleties of how she's using her voice and how she'll pick and choose when to add a bit of chest, when to add a bit of flutter, when to just shake it up a little bit. But at the end of the day, you can just feel that shit out. Like I could take lessons for another 10 years and not get that skill. The way you really, I think, the way you really double down and find out how to do that is just start feeling the music, and over time you will start to develop a way to connect the heart to the voice.
oh yeah,
And turn it into a musical representation of how you want to go through a song like that.
Kind of
So,
yeah.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, because part of that is it's not.
it's not all technique. Some of it's just an intuition, a feeling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
A natural skill.
You can describe to somebody all day long how, you know, okay, so swing rhythm is kind of like a triplet feel, but not exactly. And it's kind of like a dotted 8/16, but that's too precise.
Yeah.
But then you got to put the accent, you have to flip where the accent is where you normally think of it. You can describe all that all day long.
The technicalities of what it is.
Yeah, and it will make sense to people, but the only way to do that is you need to listen to it enough to mimic.
And
So when a
feel
kid is learning language as a toddler, they don't necessarily know what apple is. They don't know how to spell it. You know, they don't know any of what letters make up the word, but they can repeat it if they hear it enough times. And so this is kind of the same thing. If you want to learn that style, you have to completely listen to it, immerse yourself in it to get the feel. And that's what makes good studio musicians too, is they listen to a lot of stuff. So you're like, oh, this is this. Oh, okay, sure. Or no, this is going to be that. Oh, gotcha. You know.
Right. That's going to be my kind of like message to parenting whenever I have a kid. Like in mommy's belly, headphones just constantly pumping music.
all different kinds of things.
Baby Mozart? No. Sly and the Family Stone, sir.
Yes.
But the 2 points I want to drive home with taking the brain out of that when you start to feel this kind of thing is that, one, I know people who don't find that skill until much, much later in life. So the fact that Casey's got some kind of connection that seems decently well built at her age is once again very, very impressive. And I want to stress that I think she's a fantastic singer, and I'm very excited to see how she'll grow. 2, the other side of it is that while the words natural skill and natural talent are very true in finding that connection, that should not dissuade any of y'all.
Oh yeah.
And that's not saying it from you, because I said it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Goose.
That's what I fucking meant. Off my dick.
Everybody can find a way to tap into this visceral connection between how you feel and how you want to sound, and it does not have to take you your whole life to find it. For some people, it will take no time at all, and for some people, it will be a mountain to climb. But as a singer and as a teacher, I think it is worth it to try if you really think, if that is something you hear and you say, I want to do that. Because that is incredibly fulfilling, even if there's no money involved, is finding an ability to get to hush you from the heart to the voice. So Casey's doing an excellent job, and anyone can do it. So if that's something you want to do, pursue it.
Believe it.
Swear to God, Sterling.
Look,
I'll give you your thumbs up because the timing was good. I'm never doing that again. Next song.
Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one. That's how you end my inspirational message.
Just,
Dope ass not.
I figured you'd appreciate it of all
You're
people.
right, you're right.
Like, damn.
It's just so much swing boy. Like
Oh, I'm sorry I don't know JoJo stuff off the top of my head like
I don't
that.
do.
But
I'm really not that much of a JoJo. Sidebar. This will not tangent. I am not that much of a JoJo head. I started watching it 3 months ago. Next song.
It's 3 months longer than me.
I haven't seen any of it.
No.
So
Although JoJo holds an impressive power in the meme community, so there's that too.
it's because
That's
it's
fair.
so absurdist. That's why.
It's so
Moving on.
bizarre. All right.
Gold!
Absurdist.
Before the fist fight breaks out.
I shall win fisticuffs, sir.
So a Donnybrook.
So
Go for the dick.
Rip my shirt off.
So last time we decided, and I guess we'll keep doing it this way, but we'll do acoustic versions of tunes, but we're not going to do remixes because the
Yeah.
acoustic version is still something that Jeff and Casey would put together, an arrangement of their own within a different style,
New idea.
as opposed to just a remix of something else. Not that the remixes are bad. There's several of them I think are really, really damn cool.
Yeah.
But we're just going to kind of keep things truncated to the composers / writers / main group and what they decide to do with their own music. So last one on here as far as OST side of things go is the acoustic version of Gold, which goes all the way back to the OST
I
one.
was gonna say,
Yes.
which one does
I think-
Gold? It's been a second since I've heard.
Yeah,
I don't yet listen to these soundtracks regularly, so I'm trying to remember which one Gold sounds like.
yeah, it's well, here, let me do this just for you, so you can hear like 5 seconds of it.
That actually would be nice if I could get a little bit of a acoustic
Refresher?
Sonic reminder is what I was going to say, and if that ain't the most stupid Dragon Force shit, well, you can go for
Sonic reminder? Is
Yeah.
that what you're? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
Like,
know
is
what
there
was going
something
on.
that I'm not
It's
aware of?
just
Like
like
on
a
the
reminder,
screen
just like,
or something?
do you know the way? I put the headphones on immediately.
All right, so this is just for
Yeah.
a quick redo. It's the disco thing from before, from OST 1.
Can you shoot to the chorus? Or somewhere close to it? Yes, okay, I remember. Great.
Right?
Yep.
Play the damn song.
All right, here we go.
Oh yeah, we get to hear Casey do all of her riffs, but now like 3-4 years later.
Dream of anything.
Oh yeah.
I'll make it all come true. Everything you need is all I have for you. I'm forever, always by your side. Whenever you need a friend, I'm never far behind. If the stars all fall and there's no more light, and the moon should crumble, it'll be alright. Don't you worry about the dark. I will light up the night with the love in my heart. I'll burn like the sun, keep you safe and warm.
Good job, Casey.
Like the smell of a rose on a summer's day, I will be there to take all your fears away. With the touch of my hand, I will turn your life to gold.
There you go.
With the touch of my hand, I'll turn your life to gold. Let's have everything, nothing we cannot do. Every heart just beaming, every sky turns blue. I'm so happy just to have you here. Smiles bringing sunshine, worries disappear. When the days turn dark,
Nice.
start to fall, I will pick you up and we will fix it all. Don't you worry about the dark. I will light up the night with the love in my heart. I'll burn like the sun, keep you safe and warm. Like the smell of a rose on a summer's day, I will be there to take all your fears away. With the touch of my hand, I will turn your life to gold. Don't worry, I've got you. Nothing will ever harm you. I'm close by. I'll stay here through all things. I will be near. Close your eyes. Don't you cry. Love's around you. In time you'll fly. Don't you worry about the dark. I will light up the night with the love in my heart. I'll burn like the sun, keep you safe and warm. Like the smell of a rose on a summer's day, I'll be there to take all your fears away. With the touch of my hand, I'll turn your life to gold. With the touch of my hand, I'll turn your life to gold.
I always appreciate a good harmony lick.
Yeah.
Some of that throws me because the tone of the guitar, the bottom, like E and A strings and stuff like that, the tone of them, like tricks my ear into thinking it's upper octave bass. Instead
Yeah.
of,
Oh yeah, when they're
yeah. So it's like trying to like, I know that it's one thing going on,
Yeah, but you keep it.
but I keep picturing like seeing like two players interacting as
Yeah.
part of it or something. But anyway.
That's so pretty.
Nope, just using that thumb up on the neck. That's all.
It's,
Giggity.
I forgot how gentle and like soothing that song is.
It's
In a good way, like in a comforting way.
that's why we all got so quiet, because it was just nice.
It's just pretty.
It's just pretty. And if Casey ever happens to watch this, I've already said it many times, but good on you. That was really something nice. It was genuine. It was straight to the heart. That's something I would actually really want to, push to see if there's any footage of that, or if there's a way we can get footage of that, because all that is just the Williams.
Yeah, just sitting in the
2 chairs.
Yep. studio or whatever.
Just get down 2 chairs, a guitar, and an amp, and a low filter, and you're good.
Well, when Sirs and Madams goes up to Boston, we'll
Yeah.
We'll do a whole musical circuit, record 10 different covers.
Well, if I remember right, there in the past they've done like live performances at like RTX
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
events
nice.
and stuff. So
Hey man, I said it in a comment somewhere, but I would die a happy man if I could find a way to sing a trio with the 2 Williamses, with Casey and Jeff. That would be fun. It'd be very fun.
I don't have to look. I can already hear the cheese smile right now. So
Yeah. Oh no, it's true. Sometimes I speak my faces. I can't hide my emotions to save my life.
you speak your faces.
I do. I did say that. I speak the English good.
calm down, Siri.
Damn.
I know.
Siri just wants to be all up in this.
It's like you're not allowed to be in this video.
You didn't subscribe to our Patreon.
Siri,
I
is
hate
not
saying
a
that.
guest artist.
Okay, to be fair, we did say that we do
To
have a
be fair.
robot in our midst, so she just wants to be the other robot. So.
So the next.
The dreaded Volume 5, Chapter 8.
What?
Cool.
Oh yes, this is from the one episode that
Yeah.
didn't make it on our channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Shed
So-
a tear.
Section. So I couldn't remember the name of this, and we kind of pieced it together after the fact. But the request that someone had was a note from Ilya. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, and 3.
Cool. Yes. Oh, and it ends on the 5
All I could think the whole time
again.
was that entire vibe was just Mozart Requiem, Lacrimosa.
Yeah, I see that.
Was the big vibe I got from that,
So
from a harmonic standpoint.
I hear that.
You mean from Mozart?
Yeah, the Mozart Requiem and
Standpoint,
Lacrimosa.
I can tell you right now that those definitely weren't oohs and ahs once it started
Well,
picking up.
yeah,
Those were words.
That's
yeah.
Latin. That,
Yeah.
that was probably your basic
Well,
religious Latin.
pseudo Latin. It was. I think what they've
I
done.
heard
There
a
was-
Sanctus.
Yeah, I heard a one Sanctus on there.
I've got a feeling my guess is it's very easy to just put copy paste Latin. Not to say that
I
that
want
it's
it.
that
Are
it's
you really?
not any.
Are you really? Are you sure?
It's
Damn it,
easy.
Siri.
It is easy to sing Latin text, not because it's disingenuous, but because it sobers up the message really quickly. So
But
it makes it formal. It also kind of makes it sound religious. Like those are easy tricks that work really well to get a musical message across.
That's true.
But it was
True.
good.
That is true.
If you stuck it in German or something, it wouldn't be the same.
Right.
Yeah.
I love the low strings. Everything about it was rich. That was lovely. Yeah. Choral above strings is always a winning combination.
All right. So what is this one that you? Oh, I know which track this is now. Of course, Bruce chooses this.
We
one.
don't.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so so this is. Hold on, let me blow this up so we can get it set here. And so when Weiss is on the airship,
She's being stowed away.
yeah, and there's kind of the fight scene between the Lancers and yeah, there's because the first like thing of Mayday from the ship that's in trouble, and then it goes through to like the fight scene.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Fight scene.
Hate those giant bug things. Stingers.
Killer
Oh,
bees.
Yeah, the Lancers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang, son.
To just randomly stick that in
Really?
there somewhere.
I mean, bees.
It's been 10 hours. I have to get that off my chest.
Are you contractually obligated to say that every 10 hours? It's in the middle of his sleep. He's just like, Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
Part
I
of
get paid every time I say it.
part of this, yeah, it's like a NASCAR driver. Part of his sirs and madams contract is
On one of his
I'm obligated to say Wu-Tang.
Once per video, just for no reason whatsoever.
I ain't even got to say it, just throwing it up.
So this is that whole
He just lost half our subscribers.
Or gain half.
I know.
Birthday, yeah. Bold to assume.
so
That's fair. That's fair.
Payday!
so
Lancers!
this is the score to that like
Fight.
whole thing, and it's really heavy on low brass and really heavy on tuba, contrabass, bass trombone, which are my favorites to
Oh, good. Oh, yeah.
those are my favorites to play and listen to.
Right.
And then and then there's the horn. There's the horn section takes over like one of Weiss's themes at the end of it, which is done really, really well. Like really well to the point where I'm like, like, and then but then it ends and you're like,
Oh.
no. We needed like about 15 more seconds of that, or or about 12 bars of it at least, or something.
Bring that back.
Yeah. Bring that back again. All right, so this is what that one.
Mayday. Lancers.
Well, I mean, I don't name them, but sure. All right,
Okay.
ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Where's the low brass?
Oh, it's about to hit.
Trust.
Get into the rehearsal from the bar.
There it is.
They're just now sitting down,
As they're playing.
putting their horns together. Could B extension basses, maybe? That seemed lower than any. I don't know.
Go down to the C extension. Yeah.
Yeah. That's an A flat. Woof. Are those bass trombones down there?
It's double basses.
No. Come on, triangle.
Someone's making their check.
Mission accomplished.
Staring at the conductor. I got you.
I love that. Final Fantasy VII.
Get out of my head.
So there's your bombing mission. Oh.
Yep.
Found him.
That's my favorite thing to get paid for.
It's in 5. 2.
Yeah.
It was in 5. Come on, piano. Yes. Oh, that's so good. That string bass is moving. Yeah, we did need more of that. Okay. Yeah. Heard it. Caught it. Nice. They stopped on the 5 again. Ah, why is this a theme? Why?
Got him.
Finish the damn chord.
Resolve.
Resolve. Resolve. Resolve. Swear to God.
That's like 4 or 5 songs now that just stop on the 5.
Swear. It's not bad. I just want a
Musical
one.
blue balls. Matthew's fucking dying
Every
over here.
That was so good. Everything about that made me so happy.
I forgot the horns come in with the that song that she sings from the Volume 4 of the
that's
sea.
the second reason why I wanted to use that too. I mean, I enjoy that one, but it kind of highlighted some of the other orchestral things that have been going on other than just strings and stuff. But it ends up being a good example of what we talked about before, which was having a composer who can integrate the pop stuff or whatever into something else and it not sound cheesy and not sound like all of a sudden, oh well, Rock Band takes over here. There's
now it's
more,
leitmotif.
Yeah, there's more layers to it than that kind of thing. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to.
Yeah, I forgot that's her song from Volume 4. Excuse me.
Oh, those string basses. Oh, they made me so happy.
Yeah, so
that whole.
It's so visceral.
So the beginning section when I said that's lower than an E.
Yeah.
So double basses, you can either have an extension on the bottom string that goes down to a B, or you can have a 5-string double bass, which some guys will do that. But
I've more often seen the extension.
Well, it's cheaper to have an extension added to your current instrument than
to buy a new instrument.
To buy
a whole
double string, especially considering.
To be fair, the extension is still expensive as hell, though.
Oh yeah, but it's you're not buying a whole other thing.
Yeah. The choir on top, the French horns when they pop through. I really like French horns in the text when they pop through. I have also better come to appreciate the low rumble of the low brass whenever it's present. and sometimes when it leads the line, like in that piece, I was magnificent.
Yeah, there's low brass gets a very specific sound when it's lower, but when it gets loud, and it's something that's everyone would recognize, but they just don't know that's what that is, kind of thing.
Any horror blast.
I was gonna say any trailer from the past 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Any 90s.
Dark Knight.
Oh yes, Massacre.
This is worth.
Oh
So
God.
we'll add this.
Please. Whoa. Oh.
So to give you an idea of what this is like.
Oh,
So
put your headphones on. I fucking love this so much.
We're getting there. So, LA studio players who play for the movie scores and TV scores and stuff like that, every once in a while, one of them will whip out, smartphone and record like a little video of like something particularly cool. And it's not a full section of the score, and they might not even say initially what it is, but it'll leak out. So other musicians will be like, what you guys playing this week? Okay, so there's this cool, like, really new line in, like, the Superman score, so, and Todd got, like, the trumpet fanfare, and they'll, like, kind of share it with each other or something for fun. So this was, it's called the Hellboy Bass Trombone Massacre, all on the same, I think it's a unison
Pedal D.
Unison pedal D natural or something, right?
Low as shit.
And it's just repeated as loud as they can play it over and over for affect, right?
Yeah.
But where it takes place in the movie, it's dialed way down in the background because it's supposed to be more of not a sound effect, but it's supposed to be there to add to what's going on, but it's not part of score.
I think something's walking, so it's kind of adding to the footsteps.
So in the very, very end of Hellboy, the one Rasputin turns into the big Cthulhu-looking thing, right?
Oh yeah.
And so they're Hellboy and Liz.
Yeah, Liz.
Okay, they're down a corridor, and he's like dealing with her or whatever, and that's where this is coming in when that tentacle comes down to grab him to take him back out to the main room or whatever. That's where this section's happening.
Right.
But there's so much stuff going on screen that you don't realize. You're not paying attention to the score at that point because there's dialogue going on and whatever else. But that's where this happens. But this is the
raw.
This is the raw recording, so to speak, filmed by
Jeff Boone.
Someone in the low brass section.
Someone else in one of the sections was scoring the bass trombone and tuba guys doing all this or whatever, right?
It's wild.
God, I love this.
Have you heard this? I don't remember.
I have, but not in relation to any of y'all. I just have found this on my own.
All right, so and 1, 2, 3.
That's all you get.
Yeah, so that's just one of those things where it's like when low brass plays low and loud like that, you get that the edgy kind of sound added to it because how the instruments are made, how they're built. But so yeah,
And with that,
That was Volume 5.
hooray!
huzzah.
I'm excited for Volume 6. I really like that one.
I'm stoked. There's a lot that goes on. I want to see if Salem and Ozma get musical time, and if so, how it comes to light. So I'm very interested to see
Score wise,
either score or a specific track. I don't know how it will flesh out, but I'm curious to see how that album will be taken up. So yeah,
Okay.
catch us on the next one.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.